Welcome everybody to Dottendo Commentaries playthrough of Super Metroid. Chaz is here with you.
And I'm Evan.
And we're reviewing one of the classic, back in 1994. This is one of the most iconic Super Nintendo games that probably a lot of us remember.
Yep, and it's certainly the most favorite Metroid, I think.
For quite a lot of people.
Yep.
So here we have the nice intro, which is apparently cutting into nap time here on the space station because those scientists are out cold. You'd think they'd have, like, cots or something at least, but, well, these guys work hard.
Yeah.
They don't have time to stop. If they want to wake up, get right back to work. They're not dead at all. So here we have our custom control settings here. I'm playing this on the Virtual Console, so I have it set to use the GameCube controller.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
I love that voice acting.
Yeah.
I know I say that sarcastic-like, but it really is. Back in the day, to hear voice acting in a game was surprising and impressive.
And it was kind of clear, too, which is nice, instead of that mumbled crap that you sometimes saw on the NES.
Ghostbusters! So here we're reliving the ending of the original Metroid on the NES, where Samus destroyed Mother Brain, who, in this version, doesn't look anything like her original concept from Captain N. But, whatever.
Yeah.
So they completely breeze over that whole story, going through the random chambers, not populated by any space pirates whatsoever, till we come to the ending of her second adventure on the Game Boy.
Oh, I got so far in that, except I didn't beat it. I was like 3 or 4 rooms away from the Queen Metroid.
Way to spoil the ending boss to that game. I think everybody knows by now anyway.
Yeah, it's nearly 20 odd years ago or something.
Pretty much. So what happened at the end, she destroys the Queen Metroid, because her mission was to set out and destroy all the Metroids on the creatively titled Planet SR-388. And in the ending, she found a single egg that remained and an infant Metroid hatched. So instead of blasting it to Kingdom Come like she always does, I don't know why she didn't, she decides, I'm going to take it as a pet. And then she realizes, I don't like a pet, I'm going to give it to some scientists. So she hands it off to the scientists, and probably let's say a couple hours later, she decides she's going to go off, as she says here, to go look for another bounty to hunt. But before long, the station sends out a distress signal. It's under attack. So back she goes. Don't you love that intro?
I like the animation for this, because this was probably one of the first cutscenes I've ever seen in a video game.
Yeah, exactly. This is such a step up from anything we had played at that time. Like, I think this might have been one of my first Super Nintendo games of the entire, console's lifespan.
You didn't get the Mario World bundle?
I might have. We're talking like long ago in a galaxy, well, pretty close, because it was this galaxy, but still. Now here we see the scientists. See, they're not sleeping anymore. Now they are actually dead. They died in their sleep. They didn't even move an inch. So, Samus runs in to check on the precious cargo. The baby. Well, at least he's fine. But what could have caused all that destruction? Uh-oh. Ridley! I thought we killed him back in the original Metroid. And then again in Metroid Prime. And then again in Metroid Prime 3. Man, this guy just doesn't know how to stay dead. So, for those of you that aren't familiar with this particular part here, it's kind of like an interactive cutscene, really. It's not an actual boss fight. You can't win it, and you can't lose it either. Like, it's set that once you get to a certain amount of health, Ridley will just leave. But if you're careful with your evasive abilities and time your shots properly, you can actually sort of win this fight. I see how Ridley is doing. In the SNES days, they had a nice little classic thing for some games where, as an enemy boss takes damage, if they don't have a life meter, you can actually see them change color.
This is the first game that I actually saw a boss take damage like this.
Yeah, exactly. It physically appears to have damage on them. And the way to tell if you've won the boss fight is when you shoot Ridley enough and he tries to leave, he drops the Metroid container. Right there. He comes back for it, too. You realize, oh wait, nope, the game can't end yet.
Whoosh.
Yeah, he does that nice little Smash Brothers-esque dash attack at you. And of course, as in traditional Metroid fashion, the place is set to self-destruct. Go, Samus, go. Don't even bother checking on those guys. If they really want to escape, they'll find a way. So again, this isn't a place you can actually die in, because the steam coming out of the walls here, it just pushes you back. Well, I shouldn't say you can't die here, because...
You can run out of time.
That's true. I just meant health-wise. Like, as soon as Ridley leaves, nothing else will actually cause you any damage.
Oh, really?
But,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like if you watch, I get hit at the very top of this place. I don't take any life damage.
I'm always too busy panicking and trying to get out.
Panicking. Look at that. I had a whole 34 seconds left, but wait, I didn't make it out? Did I just die? Psych! I love that too. Like is this what they call Mode 7 graphics?
I don't know.
With like the scaling and rotating of the sprites? Either way, it's friggin' awesome. So here we come to Planet Zebes, which, thanks to the gloriousness of Metroid Other M, we now know how to pronounce.
That's the only good thing about it, Metroid Other M.
Hey, Princess.
Oh, sorry.
Remember him?
Second good thing.
There you go. But yeah, we never knew back in the day, Zebes, Zebes, nobody really knew how to pronounce this thing, but... So we have landed on Planet Zebes in the section called Criteria, and doesn't this look familiar, folks? It should. This was the escape route you took after defeating Mother Brain in the original game. Of course, they don't actually show this part of it. It looks a little bit more familiar right about now.
Yeah, I like those upside down doors, or not the upside down, but
the vertical
ceiling doors. Yeah.
Yeah, the up and down. That's something they did with this too. Is they took the original concept of, like, in the original Metroid, you just travel from like left to right through the doorways, but now they got door hatches in all sorts of different spots.
Yep, there's the original room where Samus fought Mother Brain.
Yep. And the elevator wasn't actually there, was it?
No. There was actually...
And it certainly didn't connect you to this part.
He came down to get to that part and then go left to Mother Brain.
Yeah. So here we go with our first power-up, the Morphing Ball. It's morphing time! Now you're supposed to blast that little rock down there, but I can wall jump out.
Show off.
I know. Hey, when I can get the wall jumps to work, I want to show them off. Trust me, it doesn't happen all that often. So you're probably wondering, why are you showing us a basic playthrough of Super Metroid? I mean, you go on YouTube these days. First of all, there's our missiles. We'll get more into that in a little bit. But these days, if you go on YouTube, you can see speed runs of Super Metroid. You can see ROM hacks. You can see all these different ways of playing the game that not nobody, but maybe you as an individual have not seen before. The reason we're doing this, and basically the whole reason for Dottendo Commentaries existing, first of all, is back in the day I had all these different downloaded titles, like on the Wii Shop channel, all my disc games, all these save files I had ready to go, but something happened where I lost all my information. Like, my Wii had to be sent in for repairs. When I got it back, they had to send me a new system, and I lost all my save data. So I thought, I want to get back to all the stuff that I had in these games, but I don't want it to be such a big waste that I get nothing more out of it. So I thought, what the heck, why don't I actually record my playthroughs, and we'll start doing commentaries on that. So I'm rambling a little bit here, but basically, hopefully you'll enjoy going through this game. It's almost like a blind run, because I remember some of this game, but, I mean, unless you really, really study the game constantly, you're not going to remember every little bit about it.
Anyway, I like the space pirates in this, because when you kill them, they just have these explosions. I mean, that's crazy. Or they have a whole bunch of C4 on them, and they just don't use it on you, they just carry it around to be shot at.
They must. It's like they have it in their pockets, and every time they die, their commander's on the radio. Do you guys forget we gave you actual stuff to fight?
Yeah.
They're thinking, oh yeah, but by that time their head is nowhere near their body, so, they're like, oh man, I should have used that.
Yeah.
So in that first room where Mother Brain is, okay, here's what I was talking about, the wall jumping. Check this out. Check it. Aw. I guess we
I
just...
noticed you have a lot more trouble with the left wall jump than the right wall jump.
It might be because I think I'm using the control stick instead of the control pad. And, the original Super NES didn't have a stick, it had the D-pad. So, now that we're into the analog days of control, things are a little bit more complicated. You can get...
I like that. Samus just points up, pegs off a little shot, and takes the guy out.
Yeah. Well, if he's there, I mean, why not? So, here we have... These guys are called Zoomers, right?
Yeah.
What I find interesting is that, like, they're basically, creatures that live on the planet. They're not exactly space pirates themselves, but how come they weren't there when we first showed up? How come they only appeared when the space pirates woke up?
They're the pets. They unleash the hounds.
Oh, okay.
They're very inefficient, slow-moving hounds.
Here we get our map room. Most sections in the game will have one of these you can pick up. And again, where this is basically a blind run, I'm going to need those maps. Trust me, this game is easy to get lost in. And you know what's really interesting about these maps? They do show you a lot of the layout of the area, but they don't show everything. And that's a little...
stuff that's secret even after you get the map.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think... I mean, I understand there's supposed to be some secrets here and there, but there's some major sections in the areas that you don't even get to see. But that's what Metroid is all about. I mean, the original Metroid didn't give you a map at all. That was something.
You couldn't shoot the things at your knees.
No, you had to wait till you had your bombs to hit something right at your foot. Yeah.
Now you can aim down, or you can even duck and just shoot straight.
Yeah, this was like a big step up here. Now, as you've been seeing...
You could actually duck and shoot.
What's that?
Metroid 2, you could duck and shoot.
Oh yeah, you can crouch down. And,
yeah.
But, I mean, you have so much more control over Samus in this. I found that with the Super Nintendo, games had so much better control to them. Like, just about every series that got an upgrade, things become so much more user-friendly. So here we're going to come into our next power-up, being held by an ancient Chozo statue, the bomb, as we were just talking about. However, this power-up comes with a bit of a catch. If you don't get out in time, you're locked in. And no amount of shots will open that gray door. The gray door means there's an enemy you must kill. Welcome to the Bomb Guardian. He looks big, he looks tough. He's really not either. Well, I guess he's big. Just keep plugging the missiles into him. Yeah, again, that's the analog control stick showing off.
And he starts drooling after you blow his beak off or whatever.
That's blood. But anyway, with him dead, we will catch you next time.